Breaking news. The Nigerian government's pursuit of the separatist leader Simon Ekpa has encountered significant obstacles following the submission of the extradition documents to Finland. And Simon Ekpa, we all know, is a prominent figure in the Biafra movement. He was arrested by the Finnish authorities in November 2024 on charges related to terrorism and violence in Nigeria's southeastern region. Simon Ekpa is also a dual Finnish/Nigerian citizen, and despite the Nigerian government's formal request for extradition, the legal experts highlight that Finland, in line with the European Union policies, do not extradite its citizens outside the European Union. This legal framework presents a formidable challenge to Nigeria's efforts to bring Simon Ekpa to trial domestically. Ngozi Oreibuzie, the Chief of Defense and Deputy Prime Minister of the self-proclaimed Biafra Republic government in exile, addressed the situation, stating that Simon Ekpa's interrogation is advancing and they hope that the restriction will be lifted soon. He has more access to his family now, and that Nigeria has no extradition agreement with Finland and other European Union countries. It does not extradite its citizens outside the region. She further criticized the Nigerian government's actions, asserting that Simon Ekpa has no case to answer and will soon be released from investigation, where she urged the public to disregard statements from the Nigerian officials, especially General Christopher Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, whom she referred to as a terrorist enabler, that the Nigerian government is so frustrated that the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has no case to answer and will soon be out of investigation. So, we noted that General Christopher Musa, had accused the Finnish government and the European Union for shielding Simon Ekpa, where he emphasized the challenges posed by the lack of extradition agreement between Nigeria and Finland, noting that Simon Ekpa's dual citizenship complicates the situation further. And the Biafra separatist movement, we all know, which seeks the independence for Nigeria's southeastern region, has become history and, has a history, including the civil war from 1967 to 1970, which led to significant loss of lives. And in recent years, the movement has gained renewed momentum, with Simon Ekpa emerging as a central figure advocating for the case from abroad. But then, this Ngozi Oreibuzie, that's the deputy to Simon Ekpa, had made a very strong statement regarding Simon Ekpa's potential release and him not being extradited to Nigeria. That people should disregard what the chief of staff had said, Christopher Musa, what he said, because it was reported that by the Nigerian government that the extradition process have been completed for Simon Ekpa to be returned to Nigeria from Finland. And now they are saying, look at what's happening. He will soon be released. His interrogation is advancing and the restriction on him will be lifted. His family now has more access to him. And Nigeria has no extradition agreement with Finland. So how are they really going to go about this if the Nigerian government are so sure that they are bringing back, Simon Ekpa? Because the federal government really took bold steps in trying to make sure they extradite Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria. So my country people, make una come chook mouth for this matter. But they are saying otherwise, that Simon Ekpa will be out very soon to join the people of Biafra. Now, it was said that Simon Ekpa committed a lot of crime, and most of his crimes, were committed in Nigeria. Some of them were also committed in Finland. That's why he's in imprisonment there. But then, what can we say? The Biafra nation still stands, but Simon Ekpa is in the custody of the Finland, that's the Finnish government. Nnamdi Kanu is in the custody of the Nigerian government, the DSS precisely. But Nnamdi Kanu, we're still trying to see how the people, that's the federal government, will facilitate his release, because even the court has said this man should be released though, but they've said no, that they will not release him. And they are trying so hard to make sure they bring Simon Ekpa back, just like how they did to Nnamdi Kanu, so that he will face the same trial that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing. I don't support Simon Ekpa, but the news of his extradition process being completed seems to be untrue, because an extradition process is not an overnight thing. Series of court processes needs to be followed. Nigeria has to prove that it holds the track record of a fair justice system, which we all know is non-existent. Nnamdi Kanu is a case study. I mean, look at how they brought him into the country illegally. The Nigerian government embarked on an abduction of Nnamdi Kanu. So at this point, Nnamdi Kanu still remains illegally detained. So how come this, Simon Ekpa's extradition process has been completed so quickly? Because we tend to see this as, something that may be one of the lies of the Nigerian government, because this deputy to Simon Ekpa, this Ngozi Oraibuzie, mentioned that what the Nigerian government said is a lie, that Simon Ekpa will be released. So many, there are two ways to this. It's either the Nigerian government are telling lies regarding the completed extradition process of Simon Ekpa, or this deputy to Simon Ekpa, Ngozi Oraibuzie, is telling a lie regarding the potential release of Simon Ekpa. I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section.